So while I was redeeming my copy of Days Gone on the PS4, they've been on the streak lately, I saw I still had Monster Hunter Iceborne. As soon as I got into the mission, I realized that, man, the graphics was a lot better, of course. In terms of gameplay, I do find it a bit strange because it seems to be lacking something. For example, you do get the grappling hook where you can hook onto the monster's body, leg, tail, or even head, and pretty much just bash them when you cling onto that specific part. It was missing the fluidity of the Y-bug moves, a slightly bread and butter of the robust Monster Hunter gameplay, and as I've gone through many hours on Rise, it just seems to be part of it. If you look back on World and Iceborne, they fixed quite a lot of things. For example, you don't need the crafting books anymore to craft the items, you don't have to bring shovels to dig or nets to catch butterflies. Also the fact that the gameplay has changed so much with the Y-bugs. It gives that extra oomph and variety to your gameplay with your different weapon sets. For example, a hammer guy like me, I've just grown accustomed to the uppercut as well as the spinning moves that comes with the hammer. And to be honest, graphical wise, I think the Monster Hunter Rise game has really astonished a lot of people in terms of what they have achieved. Similar to Monster Hunter World and Iceborne, you have these seamless maps, so when you're traversing across the different areas, you don't get the annoying load times. That has been there since the first one all the way to XX. And having such scale within a game on a handheld device, it's just incredible. So a round of applause for Capcom. Seriously, they've done an amazing job. Also with the interfaces of how you can enter the different quests in the multiplayer, it definitely changed for the better as well. Instead of sending SOS flares, which is quite a manual thing, you just now jump into the hub quests at the board, which is very convenient, and you don't have to refresh the book's interface. And overall, I just think it's a really polished game in terms of how it has evolved and have taken all the necessary tweaks that are there to remove the cumbersome of, for example, crafting the probabilities for the different crafting items, having the durability attached to the shovels. Ever since World, I have definitely welcomed this change. And in terms of difficulty, I think they've done a good job at adjusting that ever since the second and third one, because essentially, as someone who's just been playing by myself on the first Monster Hunter Portable, it was atrocious. And it was just crazy to think back that they only had 5 weapons at that time, and for the multiplayer hub missions, one player has to deal with the health bars of 4 players. And that was really tough for me back then when I was moving up from HR1 to HR2, where I had to kill 2 Diablos. The limited weapon choice didn't really help. So overall, I think Monster Hunter Rise is for the better, although it has definitely made some aspects a bit easier. For example, you don't get the tedious pouch management system where you're limited to around 20 or 30 slots, and they're just limited to whatever you're carrying. For example, if you harvest a certain piece of material, you have to give up, for example, your shovel that's filling up the space, because back then I had to drop a lot of stuff. And also because back then Monster Hunter was still a niche game, and it seeded growing into the widely popular franchise these days. Heck, there's a movie for that as well.
On our 6!
One thing I actually miss is that they have done quite a lot of the crossover skins in the past. For example, the chopper one that you can see on my Monster Hunter 4G, And also in Monster Hunter World, they did the crossover with Resident Evil characters, and these things really keep it interesting because Capcom has so many franchises. They can just bring any of those outfits or skins into the Monster Hunter universe at any time. And I'm looking forward to what they'll be bringing into Rise, and also how the Rise expansion will look and how it will extend the range of the monsters, as well as whether they will introduce further mechanics that will enhance the gameplay. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please kindly like the like button, as well as subscribe to my channel for more goodness and greatness, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care and stay safe.